Well, let me tell you another Cape Cobra story. And this is about a potentially embarrassing moment, but instead of it being embarrassing, let me tell you, it was an enormous relief. You will not believe what happened. These are true tales of my African adventures. May this inspire you, deter you, caution you, and above all, entertain you. Well, I wish to tell you an interesting thing that happened with a Cape Cobra. This was in Green Market Square in Cape Town many years ago. Now, let me just remind you once again about Cape Cobras and how venomous they are, and a rather hilarious thing that happened with a Cape Cobra once. We had people breaking into our cars. You know, South Africa has the highest accident rate in the world, I think. It's probably been overtaken by a few other places by now, but a very high accident rate. We also have people breaking into cars, stealing cars, hijacking cars, and this goes on at a pace. Anyway, at the complex where we had an apartment at one time, people would break into the cars regularly in the car park. Sometimes they would do 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in an evening. Our vehicles were tampered with. They tried to steal them on a few occasions. One morning I woke up and both ignitions in both our cars had been destroyed by novices trying to steal our cars. I was so fed up. I thought what I'd do. I had a Cape Cobra at the snake park, which was a really bitey snake. I mean, it always tried to bite us. Cape Cobras aren't generally like that, but this one always tried to bite us. I thought, I'm taking him. I know I was being irresponsible, so please don't tell me that. I would agree with you. Put it in a rather flimsy bag, a transport bag that it could see through. And I thought, I'm putting that on the driver's seat, and tonight, if they try to destroy my ignition or steal the car again, they're going to sit on the Cape Cobra and they're going to get bitten in the bum. And if they get bitten in the bum, they're going to have to go to hospital, and they're going to have to say where this was, and in this way we'll catch the culprit. Well, as things would have it, I would like to say this. Never set a booby trap, because it could backfire. So I woke up that morning and I was a bit late for an appointment. So I grabbed my things, ran down to the vehicle, unlocked the door and sat on the snake. The very second I put my bum on it, I realized what I had done, and I jumped up so hard I made a dent in the roof of the car with my head. Got out, took the snake out, put him next to me on the floor, and resolved never to do that again. But we had another similar thing happen once at the show we did in the Goodwood Showgrounds in the Cape, where we had a temporary snake park once a year in a massive trade fair. And one of our friends, also a snake man, agreed to do demonstrations with us. He was doing his demonstration, and while standing still talking to somebody, a Cape Cobra shot up his trousers because the silly twit, and I say that, the silly twit hadn't tucked his trousers into his boots. The reason snake handlers tuck their trousers into their boots when dealing with snakes is to prevent that. It shot up his leg, right up to his underpants, got inside his underpants and curled up snugly, thinking it was now safe. He was terrified. His eyes were bulging because of all the places that one can get bitten, that is probably the least pleasurable place to be bitten by a snake. So what he did was he slowly undid his belt, dropped his pants, and there was a large audience, let me tell you. But even if you're embarrassed, it is marginally better to expose yourself for a brief second than to succumb to embarrassment when there is a Cape Cobra curled up in your underpants, especially in the front section, not the back section. So dropped his pants and then took his underpants by the top elastic band and flipped them open at the time, doing a fabulous flash to everybody, at the same time flipping the snake out, at which time he could pull up his underpants, pull up his trousers, and then finally tuck his trousers into his boots. So that didn't have a tragic ending, but it almost had a very painful one.